What's up, fam? How we all doing today? It is May 8th. Not that I need to give this a date, but I hope you are well, and I hope you're all understanding the planetary astrology that is affecting us all right now. For those of you who are kind of like, you know your shit, you know, I pray for you. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because you realize what's happening in your life, and even though it looks like mass destruction and mass chaos or mass distortion or confusion, you're actually on the right path in a sense. You know what I'm saying? What I hear is to see things clear on your path, and it's like I hear the word divine one. You know, the essence of who you are. Almost like people have to follow. It's like this is a path where you follow your heart, right? But not for material wealth is what I'm hearing. It's more so an understanding of yourself and the flow and rhythm of the universe that provides you with a path. A guideway is what I'm also hearing. So I feel like this energy is very abundant in many ways, even though that I feel the collective is under some type of mass distress. You know what I'm saying? I hear chaos and panic as well. Keep in mind that this is collective and might not necessarily be you or me for that matter, because I'm not. Because understanding our astrology, understanding our astrological placements is, I think, it's very important for people to understand, or at least study, get a general idea of what happened when you were born, right? Because it bridges, it helps you with generational gaps, understanding yourself in a more profound aspect, what your habits are, what you have what you're pertinent to automatically do versus what you're scared of versus what your challenges are and stuff like that. And I'm no astrologer, but I do study it. I do practice astrology, and I'm looking at it, and more, the more and more I look at my natal chart, the more and more I understand about myself, right? You know, a lot of people do sun, moon, and rising, but it's like when you get to the depths of yourself, because you're trying to pretty much master yourself or understand yourself on a deeper level. It helps you understand the things that are actually happening in your life in that moment that are providing you those very understandings, right? And those are the cycles and loops that we go through. You know what I'm saying? If I've lost you, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, because everything is a rhythm. Everything is a cycle, loop, or pattern, right? And based on the choices that we make, we get desired outcomes, right? Based on that choice, energy, right? We put that out into the universe, and bam, here it is. One door closes, another one opens. Every time we make a choice, we actually kind of like shape our reality with every choice. So, understanding those energies and the influence of those energies, astrological placements, is kind of like pertinent to understanding yourself on a deeper level. If those of you who are like seeking or looking for understanding or understanding yourself without necessarily having to go out into the world or seek spiritual understanding from like a guru or anything like that, it's like, hey, get to know yourself in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? If not, come see me, come see my wife. You know what I'm saying? And Four Corners Healing 37.com. The four is actually spelled Four, by the way. But when it comes to like looking at yourself from a deeper level, regardless of your spiritual understanding, this is really important. Most practitioners that are kind of like, that have been practicing for a long time realize that the astrology plays a very key point, an element on our lives. And everybody wants to know about manifestation, and here we are talking about it. Is understanding your energies, and kind of like these finite energies and what they provide give you an opportunity to make a choice that is different from what the commonality of the collective energy is. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? So it's like basically another way of saying it is, okay, I know that normally I'm going to go this way. Well, guess what? Today's that day where I realize that now it's time to go this way because I keep going this way again. You know, and that's what the planets provide, the energies and stuff like that. Depending on whether you can feel them or not, at least studying the astrology will give you insight to what it actually feels like, helping you develop your sensitivity to it, your natural knowing, your intuition. This is what we're talking about here, fam. Naturally. These things are happening naturally underneath the surface of all these EMF frequencies, of all this distortion, all this chaos, all this lack of clarity, because you're in a dense energy. You know what I'm saying? You're in a dense regulation of energy. you know. And I think kind of like understanding how it influences the body is also really important, because your energy and form, and knowing the mass of what you are, this, you know, energy, this auric field, or this light, whichever way you want to say it, and mastering that light is a key element to anything that you want in your life, dude. That matters, that's important, that's meant for you, that's a part of your destiny or a legacy that you might be leaving behind. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know. But it's important for you to kind of like it, for those of you who are looking for insight because you're stuck, or you feel like you're not getting anywhere, or you're still struggling. You know what I'm saying? This is a key element in your life to be a change. You know what I'm saying? But I have to tell you that it doesn't come without cost. I have to tell you that it doesn't come without trial or tribulation. You got to be willing to do it. You got to put your heart all into it, dude. Because you're actually learning how to throw your belief into something like you never have before. And this is what a lot of people have been challenged with consistently lately. How much effort are you actually putting into yourself? How much awareness are you actually creating for yourself? Don't you understand that this reality is shapeable? That you don't have to believe the hype? That you can actually set yourself free from the confines of the fucking generational conditioning that we've all had in one way or another? You know what I'm saying? This is liberation that we're talking about. This is sovereignty, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you have to feel in order to enact the change. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people, you know, are disconnected, is what Spirit is saying, with themselves, truly, divinely, you know, sacredly. We've lost our own self-importance and self-understanding because we lack our love and compassion, because it's been broken over and over and over again. And somebody's always placed the limitation and the boundary on that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's something that I like to say is like, well, who fucking knows? Who's here to tell you what to do with your life? No one. But in order to live that way, to live in a liberated way, you have to be, it comes at a cost of releasing everything that doesn't serve you, you know? And it hurts. You know, some of the truth hurts, you know, of realizing, but, you know, which I don't really want to focus on, because I don't want to take you there. I want to take you up. I don't want to bring you down. You know what I'm saying? This is all about you. This is about life and how it works and how you elevate, that you ascend, that you become that very essence of the creator that you now somehow have been introduced to or understand. You know, it's bigger than you, but it's always been about you, because we are one. And one is the sum of all things. It's our interconnectedness to everything, right? Not everybody's willing to accept that, but it is, you know? And the more you humble yourself to understand that, the more you understand that the universe, not only it is you, you know? That you feel everything around you, you know? That these planets out there in the middle of nowhere, okay, are influencing life for you. Salah. Bro, that's a blessing in disguise that some people just don't put themselves in that place to be able to understand what God's gift really looks like in their lives. And there we are. I hope you enjoyed this message. Much love to each and every one of you. It is with the highest compassion and great honor and respect of the divine that I come to you on this day. And I pray and I thank you for all that you do, all that you are, and all that you will be. Salah. Much love, fam. Peace.